Welcome back to the channel where we bring classic legends of the road back to life, telling their stories in a way that makes you feel the roar of the engine and the spirit of their time. If you love cars that made history, cars that turned heads, and cars that made people fall in love with driving, then you've found your home here. Buckle up, because today we're taking you back to 1963 to meet a very special machine that marked Honda's bold entry into the world of automobiles, the Honda S500. It's hard to imagine now, but in the early 1960s, Honda wasn't known as a carmaker at all. They were already famous for their motorcycles, dominating races and earning a reputation for performance, engineering, and reliability. But Soichiro Honda had a bigger dream, to build a sports car that could stand proudly among the best in the world. The result was something unexpected, something light, agile, and full of charm, the S500. This little roadster was Honda's very first production car, and it was unlike anything else on the streets in 1963. At a glance, it looked like a sleek European sports car, low-slung, 2 seats, long hood, short rear deck, but when you looked closer, you could see Honda's motorcycle DNA all over it. Under the hood sat a tiny but astonishingly advanced 531cc dual overhead cam inline-4 engine. That's right, just 531 cubic centimeters, smaller than what you'd find in many motorcycles, yet it could rev up to an incredible 9,500 RPM. In an era when most car engines barely touched 6,000, this was mind-blowing. The S500 produced 44 horsepower, and while that number might not sound huge, you have to remember this was a car weighing just about 1,500 pounds. It could sprint to 80 miles per hour and do it with a soundtrack that was more like a high-performance bike than a car. The way it climbed through the revs, screaming all the way to redline, gave drivers an experience that was pure Honda, responsive, eager, and fun. One of the S500's most unique features was its drive system. Instead of a traditional driveshaft connected to a solid rear axle, it used a chain drive setup with enclosed chains running to each rear wheel. This was a direct carryover from motorcycle technology and allowed for fully independent suspension at all 4 corners, giving the little Honda remarkable handling for its time. It could dart through corners with precision and grip, something that most small roadsters of the era couldn't match. The design of the S500 was simple but elegant. The front end had a clean, smiling grille with round headlights, a shape that looked friendly but sporty at the same time. The proportions were perfectly balanced, the kind of design that makes you think of winding roads along the coast or a sunny afternoon with the top down. Inside, the cabin was minimalistic but surprisingly refined for such a small car. A simple dashboard with clear gauges, thin-rimmed steering wheel, and well-bolstered seats reminded you that this was a driver's car, built for the pure joy of motoring. The 1963 Honda S500 was also rare right from the start. Only around 1,363 units were built, and they were mainly sold in Japan, with just a handful making their way overseas. That scarcity, combined with its historical significance as Honda's first car, makes it a true collector's item today. When one does come up for sale, it's usually at a premium price, and enthusiasts are willing to pay it because this isn't just a car, it's the beginning of a legacy. Driving an S500 today is like stepping into a time capsule. The lightness, the direct steering, the high-revving engine, it's a reminder of a time when driving was raw and mechanical, before electronics and driver aids took over. It demands your attention, rewards your skill, and leaves you grinning from ear to ear. This was Honda showing the world that even with their first try, they could produce a car with personality, performance, and precision engineering. What's truly fascinating is how much of the S500 spirit lives on in modern Hondas. The focus on high-revving engines, the clever engineering solutions, the balance between fun and usability, you can see the DNA of this little roadster in cars like the S2000, the Civic Type R, and even the company's approach to motorcycles today. It all started here, with a small convertible that proved Honda could do more than 2 wheels. In the bigger picture, the S500's creation was a statement of intent. Honda wasn't content to just compete. They wanted to innovate, to challenge conventions, and to make machines that inspired people. That's why the S500 wasn't just a copy of European designs. Sure, it borrowed some style cues, but its heart and soul were uniquely Honda. That chain-driven rear end, the screaming little DOHC engine, the lightweight build, they all told the same story: Honda does things their way. More than 60 years later, the 1963 Honda S500 still holds a special place in automotive history. It's proof that great things often start small, that courage and creativity can produce something timeless, and that sometimes the most memorable cars aren't the biggest or the fastest, they're the ones that make you feel alive behind the wheel. So the next time you see a classic Honda Roadster, remember this tiny pioneer. The S500 might not have been a commercial giant, but it lit the spark that would make Honda one of the most respected names in the automotive world. And for those lucky enough to have driven one, they'll tell you, there's nothing quite like it. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, make sure you stick around because we've got plenty more legends to share. Until next time, keep your wheels turning and your heart racing. Dash dash dash.